For many couples, choosing an engagement ring is one of the biggest and most personal purchases they'll ever make. Well, one Charleston business is trying to change the traditional jewelry shopping experience by letting couples design rings completely from scratch. Our Emma Engel takes us inside Charleston Rings, where custom designs and lab-grown diamonds are becoming the new trend.
Love is in the air here at Charleston Rings, and this jewelry store specializes in lab-grown engagement and wedding rings. And whatever you may be looking for, Charleston Rings can make it personalized to you. For couples starting their forever, the perfect ring often begins with a vision. At Charleston Rings, that vision turns into something completely custom.
We will have them send over any inspiration pictures beforehand. We'll kind of get prepared that way, and then when they come in, then we'll usually look around the showroom, see any inspiration pieces that they might like. They'll be able to take as many of those back to our design sessions as they'd like, and then when we go back, then we actually have this full kind of design presentation we bring them through. They get to try on a ton of different rings, which is really fun. And then throughout that whole process, they get closer and closer and closer to what they want.
Owner Matt Frost says he and his wife Savannah started their business in 2020 in a much smaller space.
It actually started just from like our apartment, and I used to like meet people one-on-one. It was definitely different then. But then we went to more of a shared office space, and that was really helpful. And really it's just been very organic growth since then, and in the past 5 months we were able to open this spot.
He says what sets them apart from other jewelry stores is their approach.
Because most of the time when you go to like, a typical jewelry store, it's like, hey, do you want this one, or do you want this one, or do you want this one? We really wanted to be able to have more of a custom solution, and so we built what we call truly custom engagement rings. And so we build it from the ground up.
Charleston Rings exclusively carries lab-grown diamonds, and Frost says this is something they take pride in.
One of the biggest reasons for us is really the ethical side of things. We used to sell natural diamonds. But then as I did more research into it, I just realized that I just didn't really feel comfortable with a lot of the human trafficking stuff that I found, because we support a lot of anti-human trafficking, and so I didn't want to accidentally be supporting the opposite.
He says chemically, physically, and optically, lab-grown diamonds are identical to natural diamonds.
And so when you have a lab-grown diamond next to a natural diamond, if they're graded the same, nobody can tell the difference. Not even me, and I do this all the time. So really what you'd have to have is a pretty expensive tester to be able to actually see if it's natural versus lab grown. And really the way that they can tell is just there's trace amounts of inclusions or different imperfections inside of them. In a natural diamond that is a little bit different than you'd find in a lab grown diamond, like trace amounts of nitrogen or boron that are just not the impurities that you'd find in a lab-grown diamond.
He says these days, over 50% of engagement rings are lab-grown diamonds. Frost explains there has been a massive uptick in lab-grown diamonds just since he started.
Especially in Charleston. I mean, really, when we got here, there was almost no lab diamond presence, and really that was something since the very beginning that we really wanted to emphasize.
I asked lead expert guide at Charleston Rings, Mariana Bilo, what cut of diamond she thinks will be hot this year.
The elongated cushion is definitely coming more into style, and what's interesting is lately I've been seeing such a huge draw to elongated cushions, whereas last year it was the oval or the emerald cut, but this year the elongated cushion is it.
Above all else, both Bilo and Frost say their favorite part of the job is helping couples find their dream ring and being part of such a special moment in their lives. For more information, visit charlestonrings.com. I'm Emma Engel, Fox 24 News Now.